Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Introduction. The secret most people don't know. Imagine two doors. Behind one door is a life of working hard for money, always worrying about bills, and never feeling truly free. Behind the other door is a life where money works for you, where you have choices and freedom. Which door would you choose? Most people think working hard is the only way to get ahead. But what if there was another way? A secret that rich people know, but that most people never learn. Today, we're going to learn about that secret from the most famous book about personal finance, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. This isn't just another book about saving money. It's a book that will change how you think about money forever. It's about having a different mindset. It will show you how to play a different game. In this book, we will follow the story of Robert and his two dads, one rich and one poor. They taught him very different ideas about money. We will see what he learned and how he became rich by listening to his rich dad. This book is not just about having more money, it's about having a different life. This video will give you the summary of the book and lessons that can be learned from it. If you're ready for that, let's get started. Chapter 1. Rich people don't work for money. Have you ever wanted something so much it hurt? Like, really hurt? I remember that feeling. I was 9 years old, and my best friend Mike and I were the only poor kids at our school. All the other kids had cool toys, new bikes, and went on fun trips. We wanted that too. We wanted to be rich. So we asked my dad, "How do you get rich?" He said, "Learn to make money." Simple, right? Not really. So, me and Mike, we decided to become business partners. We needed to find a way to make money. We thought hard. We came up with an idea. We started asking our neighbors to save their old toothpaste tubes for us. That was a bit strange for them, but they did it. My mom wasn't very happy with all the tubes in the house. We collected lots of tubes. We melted them down. We made what we thought were coins out of lead. We thought we were so clever. But my dad came home and said, "No, this is wrong. You can't make money like this. This is illegal." That's when we learned about counterfeiting, the crime of copying official money or documents. We were disappointed. Our business was over in one day. My dad did say we had some good ideas, but he could not help us much with our plan to become rich because he was a school teacher. He was good at teaching, but he didn't know how to make money. But my dad also said, "Talk to Mike's dad. He's good with money." Mike's dad was very different from my dad. He owned warehouses, stores, restaurants. He worked a lot, but he was building his business. My dad said he was brilliant at making money. So we went to see him. Mike's dad, my rich dad, agreed to teach us. But he didn't want to talk all the time. He said, "If you want to learn from me, you work for me." He offered us 10 cents an hour. For 3 hours every Saturday. We agreed. We really wanted to learn how to get rich. We thought we'd get to learn lots of secrets. For 3 weeks, Mike and I cleaned things in his shop. We dusted things, stacked cans, etc. It was boring work. And for 3 hours' work, we got just 3 small coins. 30 cents. At 9 years old, 30 cents was not a lot. We wanted to quit. But then my rich dad said he was waiting for me to want to quit. He sat me down and taught us the first lesson in how to get rich. Poor people work for money. Rich people make money work for them. It was a very different way of thinking. My dad told me to work hard for a job and a wage. Rich dad said the people with jobs are working to make someone else rich. My rich dad said that rich people understand how money works so that they do not have to do all the work. Instead, their money works for them. That was what he wanted to teach me. That was the lesson that changed how I looked at money. Chapter 2. Learn about money. Okay, so now we know that rich people don't just work for money. They make money work for them. First, it's not about how much money you make. Many people work very hard and make a lot of money, but they don't become rich. Why is that? It's because it's about how much money you keep. It doesn't matter if you earn $100 or $1,000 if you spend it all. So, how do you keep more of the money you make? You need to learn about assets and liabilities. Now, these might sound like difficult words, but they are not. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. Imagine a little person living in your pocket. If something puts money in for that person, it's an asset. For example, if you own a house and people pay you money to live there, that house is an asset because it's bringing money to you. A liability, on the other hand, is something that takes money out of your pocket. The little person in your pocket doesn't like liabilities because they take money away. If you own a car and you have to pay for gas, repairs, and insurance, that car is a liability because it costs you money. Here's the most important thing. Rich people buy assets and poor people buy liabilities, often because they think those liabilities are assets. It is very important to understand this concept. For example, many people think that their house is a big asset. It's true that it might be worth a lot of money, but if you are paying for the house and for the property taxes and other costs, your house is actually costing you money. It's a liability. It may be a good place to live, but it's not an asset making you rich. So remember, an asset puts money into your pocket, and a liability takes money out. If you can understand this very simple difference, you're already on your way to understanding how rich people think. Now you know the difference. It's time to start making good choices. Chapter 3. It's your own business. In the last chapter, we talked about how rich people buy assets, and poor people buy things that are not really assets. We learned the difference between what puts money in our pockets and what takes it out. Now, we need to learn more about what rich people do with their money and how to think like them. Rich Dad told Robert that many people work for someone else their whole lives. They make money for their boss and for the government. He used a simple example about the famous fast food company McDonald's. You know, the place with the golden arches that sells hamburgers. Robert's rich dad said, McDonald's is not a hamburger business. It's a real estate business. What did he mean by that? Well, the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc, knew that the land under each restaurant was very valuable. He focused on buying good land. He knew it was more important than selling hamburgers. Today, McDonald's owns a lot of valuable land all over the world. They make money not just from selling food, but from all of the good pieces of land they own. Rich Dad taught Robert that you need to start your own business too. It doesn't mean you need to start your own restaurant or open a big company. It just means you need to start thinking about what your own business is. Your own business is not your job. Your job is how you get money, but your business is how you keep and grow money. Think of your business as your asset column. Your asset column is the place where you keep all the things that put money in your pocket. It's where you buy assets, like the houses that you rent to people. Your job helps you pay the bills, but you don't want to spend all your money on things that are not assets. You don't want to spend too much money on liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket. If you spend all of your money on liabilities, your asset column will stay empty. Robert says that you must work for your money, but it's not the goal, and your main goal should be building an asset column. He says most people are too busy getting a paycheck or a promotion and don't think about their own business. They're too busy working for someone else, building someone else's business. He also says people focus on their income and not on their assets. So, start thinking about your asset column. Think about what you can put in there that will make you money, not just make you spend money. If you put a car in your asset column, that is not a good choice. A car is not a good asset. A car is a liability because it costs you money for gas and repairs, and it loses value over time. A house is similar, especially if you live in it. Maybe you think that if you buy a house, it will make you richer. Not always. Your house might be costing you a lot of money. You pay for the mortgage, the insurance, taxes, repairs, and so on. Remember, an asset puts money in your pocket, but a liability takes money out of it. To be rich, you must learn to buy assets and put them in your own business. So what is the best thing to do? Keep your job for now, But start buying real assets. Don't just work hard for your money. Make your money work hard for you. And remember, your main focus is building your asset column, not just making a paycheck. Chapter 4. Taxes and Companies. Remember my friend Mike's dad? The one who taught us that the rich make money work for them? Well, he also taught us about taxes. I didn't really like taxes when I was a boy, and I still don't. Taxes are when the government takes some of your money. My poor dad always said, the rich should pay more taxes to help the poor people. It sounded like a good idea. Like the story of Robin Hood. Robin Hood was a hero who took money from the rich and gave it to the poor. But my rich dad said Robin Hood was wrong. He said Robin Hood was a bad man. Rich dad said taxes were not just about taking from the rich. They were about making the rich even richer. This is because the rich know how the system works. In the past, people did not always have to pay taxes. It was only sometimes when there was a war. But then, the government started taking taxes all the time. They said it was for the rich people, but the rich people did not really pay them. The government took the taxes from normal people, like my poor dad. They took a lot of money from people who worked hard. But my rich dad showed me how the rich people don't pay a lot in taxes. The rich people knew about something called companies or corporations. These are not like big buildings or a big group of workers. A company is a piece of paper. It's a way to hold money and protect money. The rich use companies to pay less in taxes. Rich Dad showed me a picture. He drew a small box inside a bigger box. The small box was where normal people keep their money. It is your personal money. The big box was where the rich keep their money. In their companies. It's outside their personal money. It works like this. When you have a job, you get paid. Then the government takes some of your money as taxes. Then you pay your bills. And maybe, if you are lucky, you save some money. That is how most people work. But rich people use their companies to change the order. They use their companies to spend their money before the government takes it in tax. They pay for things like their cars, their trips, and their offices with money before taxes. Then they only pay taxes on the money left over. That is why they pay less tax. It was like a secret. This was a secret my poor dad did not know. He just worked harder and paid more taxes. My rich dad used his company. He paid less taxes and had more money. My rich dad told me, if you want to be rich, you have to learn to play the money game like the rich. They use companies to pay less tax. So, if you want to be rich, you need your own company too. So, I started to understand. I started to learn that just working hard is not enough. You have to be smart with money. You have to know how to use the system. This is what the rich know, and they use companies to help them pay less tax and keep more money. I wanted to learn this too. I knew it was important if I wanted to be rich. This chapter wasn't about having a job. It was about knowing that if I wanted to be rich, I needed to know how the system works, so I could also use the tools the rich used, like companies. That's one way they stay rich. That was a big lesson from my rich dad. I never forgot it. It was a little complicated, but still important to know. Chapter 5. Rich People Make Money. After Mike and I learned about assets and liabilities and why having our own business is important, my rich dad started to teach us another secret. Rich people don't just work for money, they make money. Now, you might be thinking, everyone makes money. You work, you get a paycheck, right? But rich dad said it's more than that. He said that the way most people make money is like working with a shovel. You dig, you get paid, then you dig more. But rich people are like inventors. They create new ways to get money, almost like making something from nothing. Rich Dad said that to do this, you need to be brave. It's not enough to be smart. Many very smart people work hard all their lives for a set wage. They are good workers, but they are not making money work for them. They are working for money. He said, if you want to be rich, you need to learn to be bold. You need to learn to try new things and not be afraid of making mistakes. You need to be like a scientist, always trying new ideas. One day, He showed us a story about a man named Alexander Graham Bell. He invented the telephone. He had a great idea and a company, but he needed money. He went to a big company called Western Union. He offered to sell them his telephone and company for a price. Western Union said no. They thought his price was too high. They thought his idea was silly. Now, everyone uses a telephone, and the company that came from Bell's idea, AT&T, is very big. So, the people at Western Union were very smart and had money, but they missed a big chance because they weren't brave enough. Rich Dad said, "The people who make big money are often the people who are not afraid to do things differently. They are not afraid to be wrong. They are not afraid to fail." He said that when people are afraid, they often play it safe. They don't take risks. They don't see new possibilities. They say things like, "That will never work," or "I don't have enough money to do that." They let their fear stop them. But rich people see things differently. They see opportunities where other people see problems. They look for ways to make money from new ideas. They don't just look for a job. They look for chances to create money. He also said, "Money is not real. It's just an idea. It's an agreement between people." He told us that if we wanted to be rich, we had to understand that. He wanted us to think about money differently. He reminded us of the time we tried to make our own coins out of metal. He said we were close to understanding how rich people think. The government can create money from nothing. But if you and I do that, it's illegal. But there are ways to create money legally with ideas and agreements. He said, "The most important thing you have is your mind. If you learn to use your mind well, you can create great wealth. If you do not learn, your mind can create poverty." He wanted us to be creative, to think outside the box. He wanted us to see money as a tool, not a goal. He wanted us to use our minds to find new ways to make money, not just work for it. So, that day we learned that rich people make money. They don't just work for it. They use their minds to find new ways to create wealth. They are brave and willing to take risks. They understand that money is just an idea, and they learn how to make that idea work for them. This was another important secret of the rich that he wanted us to learn. Chapter 6. Work to learn don't. Work for money. My poor dad always said, "Get a good job." He thought a safe job with good pay was the most important thing. My rich dad had a different idea. He said, "Work to learn, not just to earn money." This was a hard idea for me to understand at first. After school, my friends started looking for good jobs with big companies. But my rich dad said, "Don't just think about money. Think about what you can learn." He said that many people work hard all their lives, but they don't learn new skills. They just do the same thing every day. They get better at their jobs, but they don't learn how to make more money. My rich dad wanted me to learn about business. He wanted me to see how all the parts of a company work together. He made me work in different jobs in his companies. I worked in the office. I worked in the restaurant. And I even worked in the warehouse. It was hard work, but I learned a lot. I learned about how to talk to customers, how to manage money, and how to keep things organized. My poor dad thought this was a waste of time. He said, "Why work in a restaurant? You should get a real job." He didn't understand that I was not working for the money. I was working to learn. After school, I did get a good job. I worked for a big company selling copy machines. My poor dad was happy. He said, "See, you have a good job now." But I did not want that job. I took the job because the company had a very good sales training program. I was scared of talking to people, and I knew that I needed to learn how to sell. So I worked at that job to learn how to talk to people and how to get them to buy things. It was not easy. Many times, I wanted to quit. I was afraid of being told no. I didn't want to talk to people I didn't know. But I knew that being good at sales was important, so I kept working. I learned how to talk to people, even when I was scared. I learned how to listen to people, and I learned how to help them. I worked there until I was good at selling. Then I left. My poor dad was sad. He didn't understand why I would leave a good job. My rich dad was proud. he said. You are learning how to sell. And that is a very important skill. My rich dad said that the best skills are sales and marketing. He said, if you can sell, you can always make money. Most people who work in a job think only about their job. They focus on being good at one thing. That is okay. But it is also important to learn other skills. My rich dad taught me to know a little about a lot of things, he said. It's important to know a little about accounting, a little about investing, a little about the law, and a little about people. He said, don't just be an expert at one thing. Learn many things. He said that the best way to learn is to work in different jobs and to talk to different people. When you are young, don't just think about the money you will earn. Think about what you will learn. You can always make more money later, but you cannot always get the chance to learn. So work to learn, not just to earn. Learn how to sell, learn how to talk to people, and learn how to manage a business. These skills will help you for the rest of your life. They will help you make money, and they will help you live a better life. Job security is not as important as learning. So, if you are not learning new things at your job, maybe it's time to find a new job that will teach you something new. This is why my rich dad said, work to learn, not just to earn. He knew that the most important thing was to keep learning new skills, not just to get a big paycheck. And that's what he did. Chapter 7. Don't let problems stop you. We all want to be successful, right? We want to have money and be free. But sometimes things get in our way. These things are like big rocks on the road. They can stop us if we let them. So, in this chapter, we will talk about some common problems and how to not let them stop you. First, there is fear. Everyone feels fear. It's normal to be a little scared about losing money. Rich people feel it too. But the difference is how you handle it. Poor people let fear stop them. They don't invest. They are too afraid of losing money. Rich people know losing is part of the game. They don't like losing, but they learn from it. They get stronger. They keep going. So, it's okay to be scared, but don't let fear control you. Next, there is being negative. There are always people who say, it won't work. They say, it's too hard. They say, you're not smart enough. These people are like Chicken Little from the story who said, the sky is falling. Don't listen to them. They only want to make you afraid. When you hear negative talk, try to think, is that true? Or is it just their fear talking? If you think positive, you can find good things even if a situation is bad. Then, there is laziness. We can be lazy in different ways. Sometimes we are busy, but we are busy doing the wrong things. We stay busy at work, or with the kids, or watching television, or shopping. But deep down, we know we are avoiding something important. Sometimes, we are lazy with our minds. We think, I can't afford it, or it's too much work. Instead, ask, how can I afford it? How can I do this? The best cure for laziness is a little greed, or wanting a better life. Wanting something good for you is okay. Let it push you forward. Another problem is bad habits with money. Many people pay their bills first. Then if they have money left, they save it. Rich people pay themselves first, then they pay the bills. It's about making yourself a priority. You can still pay all your bills, but you can also put some money aside for your assets. That's a good habit. Also, stay away from debts for things you don't need. Don't spend all your money on things that make you poor. Finally, we need to talk about being too proud to learn. Some people think they know everything. They don't want to learn anything new. They are arrogant. If you think you know everything, you will never learn new things. If you stop learning, you stop growing. You need to learn about money if you want to have money. The best way to learn is to find people who are smarter than you and listen to them. Ask them questions. Learn from them. These problems can stop you if you let them. But you are strong. You can do it. You can have money and be free. Just don't let these problems stop you on your path. Chapter 8. How to start. Okay, so you want to be rich. You know that rich people don't work for money. You know you need to learn about money and buy assets, not liabilities. You know that problems and mistakes will happen, but how do you start doing it? It's easy to think about it, but starting is the hard part. So, let's talk about what I do to get started. First, you need a big reason. Why do you want to be rich? It can't just be, I want lots of money. Everyone wants that. You need a reason that is very important to you. Maybe you don't want to work all your life. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want to help people. Or maybe you just don't want to listen to your boss anymore. Find a reason that makes you feel excited and makes you want to do the hard work. If your reason is not strong, it will be easy to stop when things get hard. When I felt like giving up, my reasons kept me going. Second, you need to choose to be rich every day. With every dollar you get, you have a choice. You can spend it on things that take money out of your pocket, like a new phone. Or you can spend it on things that put money in your pocket, like real estate. Every day, you make choices. Choose to spend money on assets. You are choosing to be rich. Choose to spend it on liabilities, and you choose to be poor. It is that simple. You need to think about this every time you have money. Don't just spend without thinking. You also need to choose to learn. Reading this book is good, but you need to keep learning. I read books about money. I go to classes and I listen to audiobooks. It's important to learn about assets, liabilities, and how money works. You need to know how to use that knowledge for your life. If you don't learn, you won't change. If you want to be rich, you need to be a student for life. Third, find people who are rich and learn from them. I am not saying just ask them for money. They probably won't give it to you. But you can learn how they got rich. I have friends who have a lot of money, and they like talking about money. I learn from them. I also learn from people who are not rich. I learn what not to do. Don't listen to people who say, you can't do it. Find people who say, you can do it, and here's how. It's good to have friends who make you think about money. They can help you grow. Fourth, you need to learn new things quickly. The world is always changing. If you don't learn new ideas, you will get left behind. I love learning new ways to make money. I read books about things I know nothing about. I go to classes, even when I don't understand everything. The faster you learn, the faster you can find new and better ways to make money. The world is full of ideas, and it is important to learn how to use them. Fifth, you need to pay yourself first. When you get money, don't pay all your bills first. Put some money into your asset column before you pay everyone else. This is very important. I know that it's very common to pay all bills and then save the rest, but you need to pay yourself. Then use the pressure of bills to make you think of new ways to make money, so you can pay them and add to your assets. It's about training yourself to think of investments before you think of expenses. If you have bad habits and you keep spending on liabilities first, you will stay poor. You need to be strong and have self-discipline. So, that's how you start. It is not a big secret. It's just about the choices you make every day. You need a big reason, the right mindset, a willingness to learn, good friends, and self-discipline. This is where you start. Chapter 9. More things to do. Okay, so now you know that rich people think differently about money. You understand that you need to buy assets and learn new skills. You understand that it's important to manage your fears and laziness. But maybe you are asking, what can I do right now? Well, that's a good question. Let's talk about some things you can do today, or this week, to start your journey to being rich. First, take a look at your life. What are you doing that isn't helping you? Are you working long hours at a job you don't like, and spending all your money on things that make you happy for only a little while? Maybe you're spending too much time watching television. If something isn't helping you get closer to being rich, stop doing it. You can't be afraid to say, this is not working for me. It's like driving a car in the wrong direction. You need to turn around. Next, start looking for new ideas. You can find them in different places. When I want to learn new things about money, I go to bookstores. I don't just look at the books about money. I look at all kinds of books. Sometimes I find new ways to think about money in a book about something else. I look for books about different formulas, ways of making money. For example, I saw a book about using government tax certificates to make money. I bought the book and started to learn about it. Most people buy books and do nothing. But if you buy a book, use it. See what happens. Another important thing is to find a person who knows what you want to learn. If you want to learn how to play the guitar, find a guitar teacher. If you want to learn about money, find someone who is rich. Then, ask them for help. Don't ask them for money. Ask them for their ideas. For example, when I wanted to learn about the government tax certificates, I talked to a person who worked at the tax office. I invited her for lunch, and she told me everything. It was a simple thing to do, but very helpful. Go to classes. Read books. There are many free or cheap classes you can take about money. Some libraries and community colleges have classes about saving money or investing. Take them. Go to seminars. I know that these things cost money, but they will be worth it. They helped me a lot. Even if you just go to a library and read a few pages a day, you are learning, and that can make you rich. When you want to buy something, like real estate, make offers. Don't be afraid to offer a low price. Most people think you have to pay what the seller asks. But that's not true. You can make your own offer. If they say no, that's okay. You can make another offer somewhere else. Don't be scared to make offers. You don't have to take it if they say yes. Look for a great deal. The right company, or the right people like you, are going on a date. You need to meet different kinds of people, offer them ideas, and see if you like them. You will say no to many, and others will say no to you. And that's okay. But that's how it works. Once a month, choose an area you like. Walk there, drive there, or ride your bike there. Do this for 10 minutes. Look at the houses. Look at the businesses. What has changed? What is new? That can give you ideas for places to invest. Look for places that are not doing well, or maybe places where new things are happening. Talk to people who work there, like shop workers or postal workers. They can tell you things you didn't know. When things are cheap, buy them. When the supermarket has a sale, people buy lots of toilet paper. But when the stock market is down, they run away. Don't be like them. When things are cheap, that's a time to buy. It's the best time. If the market is up, do not buy. Look for someone who wants to buy something first. Then, find someone who wants to sell it. It is easier to sell something when you already have a buyer. You might find that the buyer will pay for you to do all of the hard work, and you can keep the rewards. Think big. Even if you don't have a lot of money, don't be small. When I want to buy something, I ask friends if they want to buy with me. Then we can get a better price. It's good to help each other. Learn about the people who became rich before you. Learn about how they did it. Look at the companies that are on the stock market now. We have lots of videos about rich, famous, and successful people, so go and check out other videos on our channel after this one. They all started small. You can do it too. And the most important thing? Take action. You can have great ideas, you can read all the books, but if you do nothing, nothing will happen. Even if you are not sure, do something. It is better to try and fail than to never try at all. Chapter 10. You can do it. We've talked a lot about money, about assets and liabilities, about companies and taxes. Maybe you're thinking, this sounds good, but can I really do this? Yes, you can. It is not as hard as you might think. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, it's wobbly, and you might fall down a few times. But after some practice, you can ride easily. Learning about money is the same. It takes time and effort, but it's not impossible. I want to remind you that money is just an idea. It's not something real that you have to chase after. It's something you can create. It's something you can make work for you. The most important thing to change is how you think about money. If you always think you will be poor, then you will be. If you think you can be rich, then you have a chance. It all starts in your head. So let's think about it differently. Don't think of a big, hard job you can do to earn more money. Think about what you can learn to do to make money. That's what rich people do. They learn and they create. Think about it. What do rich people create? They create jobs, products, and investments. You can too. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Start small. Learn new skills. I want to tell you a little story about a friend. This friend always talked about how bad he was with money. He had a job that paid him okay, but he just spent everything. He had no savings. One day, he was watching television and saw an ad for a website that taught people how to fix old furniture. He thought, that might be fun. He bought the course, which was not very expensive. At first, he was not very good, but he kept practicing. Soon, he was good at fixing chairs and tables. He started doing it for his friends and family. Then, he put an ad on the internet. Now, he has a small business, working in his free time, buying old furniture, fixing it, and selling it for more money. Now he is making money in his free time and saving it. The important thing is that he did not start big. He started small. He learned a new skill. He started making money, not just working for it. He created a small asset that produces some money. He used his mind, not just his muscles. Now he is thinking about getting a small place so that he can store the furniture. Maybe he will get someone to help him. He is learning how to have money work for him. You can do the same. You don't have to do anything huge right away. Start by learning new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. If you start small, then you won't lose too much if you make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are great teachers. Just learn from them and keep trying. Remember the 3 kinds of money I told you about. Ordinary earned income. This is money you work for. Portfolio income. This is money from investments like stocks and bonds. Passive income. This is money from things you own, like houses people pay you to live in. Rich people want to have more passive and portfolio income. They don't want to just work for money. They want their money to work for them. You can do this too. Start small, learn something new, and do it. I know it's not always easy. I know there will be times you will feel afraid. But I want you to remember that you are not alone. There are many people like you who want to be free. You have the power to change your life. Just choose it. You have the power. You have the knowledge. You have the time. Now, you need to have the courage to take action. The world is waiting for you to be rich. I know you can do it. So go out there. Try something. Do something. Make something happen. It's your life, and it's your money. You can do it.
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.